Okay, so I'm gonna talk about We Could Be Anything and the final take for the project. Um, it's not the final take in general. It's not that I didn't have time. It's that I think it's well, no, I think it's the best I can do in the time I had, seeming I got stitched up very badly with my studio. But it's definitely not done, but it's done for the project. So let's just go through it one by one. So I'm just going to play a little bit. Let's play a bit of the verse into the chorus.
We can say anything, anything, anything that you want. Don't even know if I'll go, if I'll see tomorrow.
So, you know, I'm quite proud of that, to be honest, how it turned out. Right, so I began, I got my brother to record the lead guitar / rhythm guitar for the song, and it went like this, actually. This is it with effects and without. It's a subtle difference, but you can definitely hear it. So with effects, without. So it just makes it more fulfilling and adds a really nice atmosphere, like a very, not clouded, but a very, I suppose it just adds a really nice vibe to it. It's got a sensation in the background that is quite airy. So then that was guitar. So this was for the verse. Then the chorus is strumming. Chorus was strumming, and I was pleased how it came out. I used the our compressor mic, which is a NT3 Rhodes, which is quite new. Yeah, and I was quite happy with the turnout. It sounded really nice. It sounded quite airy. Then after the two guitars was added, so if we just run through it, two guitars. Then I then added the bass. The bass is only in the choruses, sorry. So it just gives more of an impact when the chorus comes in, because I needed to distinguish or separate the verse and the chorus to make people know there's more of a drop for the chorus, or a climax building up, and once it hits, the bass comes in. So it's very, very calm. Stops, and it's just a really nice subtle bass. If I turn it up, you can hear it really well. Without bass, with bass. And if I just solo the bass out for a minute, it's very bassy. But it works with the song very well. It works with the song really well. And I recorded that. Took me it was very quick, and I really like the output of that. It's very bassy, and it adds just such a nice, fulfilling atmosphere, and it makes the song sound not empty at all. Then after I did that, I then added the drums. So that was just with a Groove Agent SE, which is basically a default MIDI instrument pack, which comes with Cubase Pro. Which I really like the sound of. I did add a Proximity and Roomworks reverb. Roomworks is a mix between a room reverb and a hall reverb, because you can choose it, and I did like a bit of a mix. So I added that into the drums to make the drums more powerful and emotional for the Roomworks. Proximity, basically in Cubase, it just chooses where the instrument should be. So whether it should bring the drums to the front, to the back, the distance between each instrument. So I use Proximity for most of my instruments now, since I've learned about it, which was quite a while ago now. And I like using that because it just adds a sense of layers within the song. So after I added the drums, it sounded like this. And I felt like, this is definitely building an emotional impact. It's definitely sounding very, a song where it's like trying to say, get out and do it, believe in yourself. We could be anything, literally the song title. I did the drums as well. It's just a very nice beat, which I will solo out for you to hear. Yeah, it's just I just like the beat. With nothing, it doesn't sound like much special. Same with the verse drums. If I just solo them out. Again, nothing special. In the second verse, there's no drums. As you can see, there's no drums here. The drums slowly come in through the use of an open hi-hat, trash open hi-hat, sorry. Building up, just a bit, bam, and then it goes in. Like I say, it sounds nothing, but with the whole thing, the drums work so nicely. Then I added the vocals, really. There was a few lead guitar, but I actually did that after the vocals. So if we now look at, let's say, the start vocals. So let's solo them out.
Forget you, 'cause friends tell the truth. A friendship that cannot be moved.
I was trying out with the gate. A gate is basically, in simple terms, something that cuts off the microphone and the output when nothing or unwanted sound is there. So, I mean, if I turn off a gate, you can hear, spit, unwanted sound. Turn on the gate. Sorry, I just muted the thing. If we turn on the gate now, you heard the spit. Nothing. That's what a gate does. Yeah, so I worked with that. Maximizer, I don't like using maximizers, but I used it a tad because maximizers can also, they act as a bit of a gain, and gain usually peaks quite badly, but I only used it a tad, so if we go on here, yeah, it's barely used. Proximity, again, talked about that. De-esser, get rid of the S sounds. Roomworks, again, it's not much, I'll show you. So,
And I don't know if it was true. My life won't be nothing to you. The day I say.
it just makes it more smoother, and it makes it sound like, basically the song is very pop ballad in a way, and I feel like the Roomworks, Hall Room Works, definitely adds a sense of space and heartfelt lyrics and words. Other than that, I just use a compressor to compress a whole song, which basically just keeps everything at a constant level with no jolts in the sound. So forget you instead of forget you. Doesn't change the actual sound, it changes the volumes and it keeps everything set. I use two different compressors, multiband and compressor. I just feel like they work really nice together. Magneto, again, smoothing the sound. Other than that, that's the vocals done. Then there was vocals undertone, which I used, which, if I show you,
A friendship that cannot be moved. And I don't know if it was.
now what I did there is actually an Abbey Road Studio technique, which I learned, where is it? Basically, if we go on frequencies, I've cut out all frequencies from around 500 hertz to 10k hertz, and so through that, basically what that does, if I just solo that out, you can just hear it. with and without. So with, that sounds really full and really quite. It's got a lot of bass. That loses a lot of the bass. What that does, it's just a technique for good reverb and good, a more professional sounding vocal. So if I mix it with, it's very in the background, you can barely hear it, but the conscious mind can hear it. It's very subtle. That's basically the whole song. There was obviously just messing around with frequencies to make everything sound good. The drums, I did use reverb because without reverb it was too sharp. Oh, and then there was lead guitar, just quickly. So if I just play the lead guitar quickly, and this is in the interlude, so it's only, the lead guitar's only in the interlude, which is something that I thought was quite weird, because usually lead guitar goes throughout the song, but this I only used in the interlude because I thought it just was so effective. And it's really punchy, which I love about it, because if I play it as a whole, you can hear it, and it really adds emotion to the song. It really adds emotion to, before I play it, it really adds emotion to the song, and without it, it's really cool. With it, it's so powerful. And that is the only part that uses lead guitar, literally. There is this part actually that I completely forgot, my bad. That's a very punchy lead guitar that I was talking about. This is, I talked about it the other day. I did have it only in this interlude, which is why I got a bit confused. But after listening to it, I did feel like people would just hear it and think, well, it's just come out of nowhere, it's a bit weird. So what I did actually add a lead guitar into the chorus, which you can hear actually very clearly, but I completely forgot because it's engraved in my head. But with and without it is just crazy. So if I just play it, that's the lead guitar. So with the music, it's subtle, but it's so effective at the same time. It adds sensibility and movement. So it's a bit. Then in the verses, just very subtly, you can even see here, I only use like literally a note. Like 4 notes, a note, a note, a note, just every now and then in the verse. So if I just play it, it makes it sound really country and western in a way, I feel like. That I thought was really cool and really effective. I also looked into something really cool called Very Audio. So if I click onto this little part of the guitar, which goes like, if I just solo it out, and click on pitch and walk, it actually sounded completely different. So if it actually sounded similar to, I'm just gonna similar to this as the recorded version, which I didn't actually like. Well, I thought it was alright, but it wasn't as effective as this one. I just like the passing down of notes, but yeah, that's the whole song as a whole, and how I did it.